I made some diagrams here to help explain. So the example of telephone usually look like this. The message begins in one point. We don't know exactly what this message was. It gets passed to here verbally. It gets passed to here verbally. At some point in time then, there is a mistake. That mistake gets passed on to the next person. From here to there was a mistake in what was heard. Now we got two mistakes. It hops over to here. The two mistakes carry on. Two mistakes carry on. And all of a sudden a third mistake enters. That third mistake gets passed on. A fourth mistake emerges. And then that mistake also gets passed on. So by the end, you have about 4 differences than what was here. And to be honest, because this is just being passed on audibly through whispering, these mistakes may actually be different mistakes than what were previously given. And what's interesting, in the game telephone, we actually do know what the original said, so that's something else altogether to consider. But with the Gospels, it wasn't passed audibly, and it wasn't direct, with basically this being the only message, this one being destroyed, this one being destroyed, this one being destroyed, this one being the only valid one. With the Gospels, here's more what we have. We have the original, which we do not know, and then it is copied, and then there are copies of these copies, and so we're multiplying out. And so when there actually becomes a mistake, this mistake again gets passed on to this copy, this mistake then gets passed on here. Oh, this one has an extra mistake. That extra mistake gets passed on to here. And then you see this one, though, copied from the one that the mistake still only has one mistake. The copier here did a better job than the guy here, so that copy goes down to here, preserving this mistake along this line. So you'll see that the mistakes get caught down this branch, but not down these branches. And then there's another mistake here. And so the idea, again, this is copying, so there won't be as many mistakes as with telephone where it's something whispered in someone's ear. But as this stuff gets passed down the line, we get a whole lot of copies. This is like multiplication and not just direct line message to message with destruction after, right, as we have in telephone. So here we're going to end up collecting all these copies that remain, and probably maybe this one doesn't remain, maybe we lost this one, maybe we lost all of these here, maybe we even lost that one, probably lost this one. But we take all the ones that we do have, we compare them all, and we can figure out what the original said based on what occurs the most. And something with the Bible to remember is that these mistakes that end up recurring are mistakes that do not change the message. They're small mistakes such as capitalization, grammar. One says Jesus Christ, one says Christ Jesus. Which was the original? Does it even matter? Because does it matter if we say Christ Jesus or Jesus Christ, or if we just say Christ? So the type of mistakes that we do have, we can recognize, and they're so inconsequential that it doesn't matter if we have that mistake. And in the situations where it's something that is more major, like, whoa, all of a sudden we have like an entire additional 10 verses at the end of Mark. What do we do with that? Well, if we just delete those 10 verses, it doesn't change the overall message. And if we keep those 10 verses, again, that doesn't change the overall message. So we're standing on very firm ground, being able to know what the originals likely would have said. The percentage of accuracy that is usually given with the Bible is 99.9% accurate. And again, most of the difference is being inconsequential.